throws it down the line. Look how that ball staying in, and Davies is on it. Davies takes it away. 2v1. Davies and Buchanan. Alphonso Davies keeps it himself. Goal! Alphonso Davies. Are you kidding me?
Alphonso Davies, who plies his trade in Germany with Bayern Munich. Well, it's been rumored, and an article was written in The Athletic, that his camp has actually reached a verbal agreement to join Real Madrid. It could be this summer. It could be next year. He's still under contract with Bayern Munich to 2025. So whether they choose to sell him or hold on to him to the end and then risk maybe losing him for nothing in return, it's sounding more and more like his camp and like Alphonso Davies himself wants to go to Real Madrid. We heard there was an in-person meeting just a few weeks ago. What would this move mean to the player?
Well, first of all, I think it'll happen this summer. Bayern Munich are one of the greatest sports franchises run in the world in any sport. They will not allow a player like that to go for nothing. And I think they knew that whenever, you remember the whole thing came out and Davies had the shirt printed on with 2025, which I think they already thought that by 2023, 24, we're going to have to know whether you're sticking around at your age here. So what would it mean? I think it's a refreshing move. First of all, it's a gigantic move for Canadian soccer. It's a landmark move again. Bayern Munich are an historical club and an incredibly well-run club and one of the world's best. But there's nothing like Real Madrid. Nothing. And to go there and play at Real Madrid in front of that, with that badge, in front of that fan base, maybe with Carlo Ancelotti and those players, maybe a Galactico, is remarkable. So I'm really pleased for him. Hopefully he goes on. And I think, Gareth, myself, I think he needs it. I think it's time for a move, and I think it's refreshing for him.
Agreed, probably from a personal perspective as well. Again, Munich, wonderful city. It's not Madrid. And for a young man who offers so much more that he can provide off the field as well as on it, it's a match made in heaven. I think that all of us saw this coming. I think that it hasn't been a secret. We've talked about it for years now that, someday Alphonso Davies would love to play for a club like Real Madrid. Mm-hmm. And when Madrid comes calling, that was the only thing for me, KJ, is like, can Madrid fit him in with the rest of this young team that they have? They're well run. They make a lot of money. They do well with their finances. Oftentimes players take a little bit less to go there to be part of that collective. It was just about how that would balance, especially with the fact that Kylian Mbappe is on his way to the Bernabeu as well. This team is built to win now. It's built to win for the next decade. The collection of young talent and players that play the modern game with speed and athleticism and ruthlessness. It's a scary thought. At Bellingham, Davies, Mbappe, Vinny Jr., Camavinga, Tchouaméni. I just look at this team. How do you play against them? It's going to be rapid. It's going to be quick. And Davies will fit right in. And this is something that just goes beyond the footballing world. Real Madrid's an institution. Mm-hmm. This is like playing for the New York Yankees or the LA Lakers or the Dallas Cowboys, and Real Madrid probably is on top of that bunch and is looking down at the rest. Yeah. And by no means is that, to speak ill of Bayern Munich, a club in their own right is going through a lot of change right now. The summer is the time for them to move on.
Yeah, all great points. I mean, it's the greatest club in the world, no doubt, for me. The other thing I'd say, and you just made all the points about the player technically and how to improve, I'll say something mentally that I think is really important next for Alphonso Davies. He's not a kid anymore. And in football, he's not a young player anymore either. And for me, and I still feel strongly that he's a future captain of Canada, whether that be in a year or in 5 years, it's happening. And I think now is the time for him to start to think, okay, look at all of these mentors around me. He's been at Bayern Munich, and he's been around Muller, and he's been around Kimmich, and now he gets to go to Real Madrid, and he gets to see Modric, and he gets to see Kroos, and he gets to see professional players who are world-class talent on the field, but nothing stronger than world-class mentally. And that's what we need in Canada, and that's what the Canadian national team needs. It's for Alphonso Davies to learn, absorb, take everything in, and watch all of those world-class players and bring that to then be our Canadian Luka Modric.
And hopefully it whets the appetite to put him in that position he has to want that and to bring that back to this team, because now that's the biggest question. How is this team going to come together? How are they going to unite? And flipping over that page from the old era that did so well to what the new one's going to look like. And you're right, Alphonso Davies' footprints are going to be all over it.
I love bringing this up because it really bothers Gareth, but watching the David Beckham documentary where he said moving from Manchester United to Real Madrid, it was nothing like it when he stepped out onto that field for the very first time. Well, he kind of gave me a little bit of attitude when we were on One Soccer Today talking about that very documentary.
As a United supporter, I feel like the knife.
I know.
Nothing like that white of Real Madrid.
I sharpened it up just a little bit. By the way, on non-game days, One Soccer Today is up 7 p.m. ET. Maybe we'll discuss it a little bit more, Wheels. Maybe that's exactly what we'll do. That's where we talk about all the big stories in the world of soccer.